we on?
Are we?
I guess this is where Metal Rob would say, "We are back." Except this looks completely different because I don't have Metal Rob here. I'm standing next to Metal Marin.
Hi.
Metal Marin is my daughter. We call her affectionately, I'm Carcass John, and she is Carcass
Spawn.
Carcass Spawn. And we had a wild idea today because Rob is unavailable. Is it Metal Rob or Hair Metal Rob? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I think today it's Hair Metal Rob.
I think it's Slacker Rob today.
Maybe he and Poser Mark are having a enough's enough convention, but I digress. So we're here in the great state of Utah. I'm trying to avoid the cold of Texas. Yes, it's cold and rainy and awful, and it was 19 yesterday here, and it feels really cold. But guess what? We got a hot topic for you. We are gonna. This is episode 70. Episode 70.
What is this hot topic?
The hot topic is my dad is a metalhead.
And that he is.
And that I am. So I thought it would be fun if we just talked about growing up. We had kind of a sordid father-daughter relationship. She's my favorite daughter. But I guess she's my only daughter, so she would have to be my favorite. But anyway, we had some years that we weren't able to interact due to some marital strife, and we've all worked that out on all levels. And it's been kind of fun. I remember our dates that we used to have when she was younger, and we'd drive around and go to Chipotle and go out to eat, and we would do slow motion metal videos and so forth. And in fact, why don't you tell them what your ringtone was at one point in time?
Oh, okay.
This is a great story because it made me want to call her all the time, especially when she was around her mother.
But you have to demonstrate. Because I can't.
I don't know if I can demonstrate Russ Anderson. Well, anyway, it
was Forbidden Evil.
By Forbidden, because it was the chorus where he screams, "Forbidden Eve, Forbidden Evil," and that was the ringtone. So it made me want to call her all the time, especially when she was around family and friends, because I thought that was funny.
Well, I obviously didn't care. Just like everything else.
Oh, but usually we do a shout out type thing. So shout out to Gray Whale Records in Taylorsville, Utah, of all places. I'm not kidding you. This crew over here has a huge selection of metal, and especially black metal, which I know sounds just ridiculous, but all you got to do is show up and check it out. Guys are very nice. You get a discount if you spend money there. And in fact, I found things like I never could find in Texas, like Lahar, Provide and Conquer. I found a Druid Lord record that I couldn't find anywhere else except for Taylorsville, Utah, Gray Whale Records. I found the new Havoc on Sea Glass Clear Vinyl. The new Pig Destroyer on Hot Pink Vinyl. I found Gate Creeper, come on now, on purple and neon green. And I want to thank my buddy Henry Vasquez, who drums for St. Vitus, giving me a shout out on the record, and thank you. That's pretty cool. And the crystal clear vinyl, I guess, is pretty hard to find. So anyway, we have great production value today, as you can see. We have a ring light in front of us that's supposed to make us look better, and all it makes us look is, it makes her look better. It makes me look like...
I hope it does, because I didn't put on makeup today.
It makes me look like a raccoon. But anyway, so growing up, what did we used to listen to? What are some of the things that when I had plugged in that you kind of were attracted to? I know that Marin really loves all kinds of music, kind of like me.
Yeah.
But there was some heavy stuff. I know we listened to Pantera and.
Well, I mean, the fact that you listen to everything is what gave me the broad liking to everything. That doesn't make any sense, but you guys get what I'm saying. Because of him, I like all kinds of music, and I really appreciate that. And if you put my music on shuffle, it's gonna take you for an adventure. That's for sure. So.
And we like adventures.
We do.
Because when I used to drive down from Dallas to Houston to go hang out with my kids, and especially Marin, after Jesse had moved on, we had some real musical adventures there, and sometimes we would have pretty much a whole heavy metal weekend, or we'd have a whole hip hop weekend, or we'd have a whole techno weekend. And in fact, speaking of which, my daughter is a very accomplished athlete, and she's trying to get she does bodybuilding now, because when she was a kid, she wanted a little more of a challenge because she was really super fast and she was tired of people chasing her. So she said, "Hey, Dad, what do you think if I did something a little more challenging?" And I said, "Well, what's more challenging than running around a track?" And she said, "How about pole vaulting? That's a real safe sport." But anyway,
Sounds like me.
She excels at that, and she's the type of person that would do something over and over and over and over until she finally got it, and then she would want to do it some more because she finally got it. So, but she's in bodybuilding now, and I've noticed at the last couple of shows that we've gone to, there's been quite a disparaging range of music. Yes. So, can you speak a little bit to that without?
Well, I mean, they play like background music like any other event, but there are certain divisions that have posing routines, and they get to pick their music. And so that's kind of where you get the wide variety of, you could have like an instrumental from a movie to hard rock to R&B, and they're making love on the stage with themselves. Hey. So yeah, sometimes it's a little weird. I'm like, that's not necessary. But I mean, that's, as of shows, that's really the only difference in music, is just in certain divisions they have the option to pose, or in certain divisions it's part of their scoring to have a posing routine. In the division that I would do personally, I don't get that, which is unfortunate, because I would really like to put it together a routine and do the whole music thing, but I'd have to be in a whole different division that isn't suited for me, at least right now. So. Well,
and in fact, I think the last time you were down in visiting in Texas, we went to a show, and one of those guys had Hatebreed? Mm-hmm. Had Hatebreed playing as part of his muscle routine thing, and I thought it was kind of cool. And the thing is in an event like that, the music sort of bridges all cultures and all societies, because even the brothers that were in front of us were really kind of getting into the groove of Hatebreed, and of course we're getting into the groove of the hip hop vibe, so it was kind of fun. Mm-hmm. But so do you have anything that I mean, I know that when you plug in, I always love coming in here, because when she picks me up at the airport, I always want to know what's going to be playing next, and there's a wide disparity of music once again. But is there anything that's on a heavier side that you're sort of interested in? Or maybe I should tell them about the time that the one time I came here, I think it was in the winter of last year, wasn't it?
Is it when we went to the
Macabre show?
What is it called?
The Warehouse?
No, it wasn't the Warehouse. It was the, what do they call those storage unit things on trucks? What are they? Not the pallet. Oh, shit.
Not the pallet. Oh gosh.
It wasn't the Warehouse.
It wasn't the Warehouse.
What do they call those things? That semi trucks.
Well, anyway.
We're stupid.
Anyway, so because she knows her dad loves metal, the first thing she plugs in on her phone, metal, Salt Lake City, and the first thing that popped up was a show by a band called Macabre from Wisconsin, kind of like Livid, and a buddy of mine was actually playing in the show despite he was super, super ill. And the thing is everybody stood outside, and then they rolled up the storage warehouse doors, and the band was behind the door, and then that was like the curtain. And even though it was 20 some odd degrees,
yeah, it was really cold.
It was really cold, but it was really cool because there was a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, here we are. Yes, I said Salt Lake City, Utah. There were a ton of people there. Mm-hmm. But because my daughter knows her father all too well, first thing, metal, Salt Lake City, and bang, we had an event, and had several events to at least go check out.
This was pre-COVID days.
Pre-COVID. It was last year sometime. I don't remember.
It was October, because I was supposed to do a show.
That's right.
Yeah. And it was really cold.
Yeah, well, here it is at the end of October, and it was snowing when I got in on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it is possible. And after having I went to school out here in Utah, and so you could be wearing cutoffs and T-shirts for Halloween, or you could be wearing a giant parka and mittens on Halloween. It's kind of like Texas. You just never know what you're going to get. It's always going to be a mixed bag. But so anyway, so if you had to pick. If you were picking your favorite kind of hard rock or heavy metal, well, name some bands that you really dig. I know one band for sure from Texas that you really like, and we don't know what their status is these days, but we're hoping they're still playing shows and what have you.
Unfortunately, I'm a huge fan of Mothership, but I am a new fan of Forebode, who played however many episodes ago live, and I was there helicoptering my hair.
That was the helicopter hair that you saw. I was going to make her demonstrate, but I'm not sure we have enough room, and we're afraid that the kittens might grab on and be tossed to and fro.
And I just cut off 7 inches of my hair yesterday, so.
So anyway, and it's only
to my belt now instead of past my bum.
There you go. I like the way you cleaned it up. Thank you for keeping us PG-13 here on the Metal Roundtable. So I introduced you. It seems like one band slides away and one band interludes. But yeah, Forebode was just killer. The sound was great. I hope you all have checked it out on the YouTube channel. We actually have downloaded the Goats GoPro footage, and it turned out really cool. It sounds great, even though it's just one static camera angle. We had a great time. But see, that's what happens when your father is a metalhead. Then your daughter comes to town, and what do? We have a metal event.
Well, it was your birthday.
It was my birthday, and so
I did encourage some of the fun for you.
I actually sang, and well, because Fast Eddie is such a great guy, he made me think I was playing the guitar on the outro. Little did I know, and I knew it had to have been some sort of a guitar trick, which it was. But hey, I felt great.
He admitted it.
He admitted it.
I turned everything on.
I turned all the gains up and then just shut the strings off. So my playing was really not. Now my singing, that was was good. My vocalizing.
Is it not singing?
I guess it was. Well, I was singing. Production value. We have a cat underneath the refrigerator, but I don't know. So fun times, and but anyway, once again, here we are. I thought it was important enough to have an episode, even though here Metal Rob is kind of indisposed, and we give a shout out to him because he does a lot of work. We actually have new stickers and new and some new merch coming along because of his hard effort, his good effort, and his hard work. So when that becomes available, we'll let you know. If you want a T-shirt or a sticker or whatever, hit us up in the
description box.
In the description box or the comments down below, and let us know how your family deals with if you have a metalhead parent. I know that there are parents out there because I see a lot of young kids. And in fact, I was hearkening back to a young man named Logan Mulligan that used to be in a band called Crucifix, and he's now out making movies. He's not playing music anymore, which I'm a little sad because Crucifix was really awesome. Killer band, Crucifix with 2 Ks and or a K at the beginning instead of a C. And but his parents turned him on to heavier music, and I'd seen him even travel as far as Denver, Colorado to see Black Sabbath, which was kind of fun to see them up there. You see all these old fogies, and then you see these young kids, and where did they learn it? They learned it from their parents. So
yeah. And the underground scene in Salt Lake, not that I'm super versed in it here. Is that the right term?
Versed, yes.
But,
what's up, Donnell?
But every time we go to a show or I go to a show that's some random band that you would think no one would know about here in Salt Lake, the underground metal world here in Salt Lake is I would say pretty big.
Yeah, it's surprisingly
Surprisingly big.
And there's been some big names, like Visikov is one of those bands that has toured worldwide, and they're from right here in humble Salt Lake. But you know, I was surprised every time we go to a metal show here. There's tons and tons of people, and they seem to be well versed, and they're students of the game. It's almost like it's almost a harkening back to the late '80s or early '90s, when metal sort of was at its peak, and then you were just learning about new bands all the time, and so with the underground idea, you sort of have to. It's word of mouth. It's not so much internet, but with the help of the internet, you know, you see a kid with a Blood Incantation T-shirt at a show in Salt Lake City, because guess what? Even Blood Incantation plays here, and doggone it, what is the name of that venue?
I don't know.
It was so random.
It
was so random. It was back behind two other venues, and for the life of me, I can't remember the storage unit, the warehouse,
it's neither of those things.
Backstage, the oh my gosh, this is embarrassing.
I can look it up. Oh, I guess I can't.
Well, you can't, because you're using your phone as a camera. But
speaking of underground, a lot of music of any kind, any genre, I use SoundCloud a lot, and that's usually where I'm finding
that's a good tool.
Just the most random, and a lot of the times, you know, they are on Apple Music or Spotify as well, but SoundCloud, as I'm sure some of y'all or most of y'all know, is like the underground of music for the internet, at least. So kind of the spot. If you haven't looked up anything on SoundCloud, you can have a free account, or of course you can get like no ads kind of thing for a few bucks a month. But if you haven't gone on SoundCloud, go on SoundCloud, because there's a ton of up and coming artists. Some of it's shit, some of it's not. So good finds. My suggestion.
Carcass Spawn speaks. We all must listen. Well, in fact, we set up an account for DJ Slow-Mo, capital D, capital J, capital S, capital L, little O, capital M, little O. But anyway, for her brother, who we're coming up on 10 years since he passed away?
Yes, 10 years.
In December it'll be 10 years, and rest his soul. He's hanging out with Riley Gale and Lemmy and Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan. So some of us have all the luck, and some of us have to just endure to the end. But anyway, we just created an account for him, and it was really kind of fun to collaborate on that. In fact, that was the Forebode weekend at Casa de Carcass, and we're gonna hopefully do more of those things. I noticed that we've got a lot of bands locally, at least in DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, that are getting ready to put out new records, and so we'll keep you apprised of that. But the SoundCloud idea, I think, is pretty cool. I'm always looking for ways to find new music. And namely, especially since we can't actually go to a show, although Metal Rob and I did MC an event, the Haltom Theater Metal Fest, the day number 2, and some killer music there. Under a Spell, Protest, Rabid Flesh Eaters. It was really fun. And there was actually people there, and they had little spaces so you could keep your distance. But I think I don't know. I really miss live music. That's why we had the event at the house. Very small numbers. It was just us and the band, and we had a really good time. But hopefully, I see bands posting. I see that Municipal Waste posted that they're on a huge event, the Dynamo event in Europe. Starting next year. So man, hopefully this stuff opens up and we get back to normal, not the new normal, but the old normal, which I like much better. I don't know about you, but I like the, and because that's typically where I discovered new music, is I get there early, I hang out for the undercard, and then I see the band that I came to see, and then I hang out to hear who's going to play after them. And typically it's always an adventure, like you said.
You just find gems.
Sometimes. Yeah, you find diamonds in the rough, and once again, I've discovered Amoricide, Turbid North, Dead Rising, tons and tons of bands like that have some real prominence now. And so shout out to all the bands that have stayed together and have tried to work their way through this pandemic. You know, obviously do the right thing and do all the safety protocols. Don't be one of those guys that, you know, wear a mask, but let's
I mean, I think
I think somebody didn't like my mask comment and something happened.
I
So
think that was the deep state or something.
that was the deep state. Oh my gosh.
They're tuning in now.
That's not, yeah. We're so prominent now here on the
Wear your masks.
Yeah, wear your mask. The Metal Roundtable. We don't want to get on the dark side of the deep state. But anyway, I've got nothing left. I see that we've had a few people pop up, and hopefully we'll get some people to watch this thing. So as a matter of desperation, we just decided to do something completely, like we say, we're unrehearsed, we're unscripted, and we're unedited. And oh boy, are we ever unscripted today. Because I called her about an hour ago and I said, hey, you want to just be my sidekick?
I mean, it wasn't really a question. It was like, yeah, you're going to be on the show today.
Oh, that's right.
Like, okay.
That's right. Yeah, you are going to be on the show today. So, well, thank you, because I mean, I look silly here by myself, and at least you add.
I just add to the silly.
You add to the silly, but you make it look better.
Oh, thanks. It's the ring light.
It's the ring light that's supposed to make us all look better, except I think the rings, it just makes the rings around my eyes look bigger.
Probably. That's
more prominent. But anyway, well, and you know, now, do you remember this is actually something we did rehearse. Do you remember the outro? Because
yes.
My own daughter, my own flesh and blood, forgot how we end. I
just needed a reminder.
Right. She had a glitch in her thought process. She's got a lot on her mind.
Yeah, you know.
And so, you know.
Is there certain hand movements?
Oh, no. Just the, you know.
Okay.
Just the 3 words.
I can't mess this up.
Can't mess it up.
And if I do, I didn't. Okay?
Okay, here we go. So, shall we just shout it out and say thank you for listening?
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Whatever.
And metal will prevail.